Irish Nation and Irish haters, the recruiting is over. Commitments have been made. Transfers decided. Practices are in motion. Games are slated. Bowl games have unknown participants with the national champion uncrowned. But to play like a champion, you need to talk like a champion. Welcome back, all you Irish fanatics out there. Glad you could join me once again. I am, of course, Mr. CeeLo, here for Talk Like a Champion. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to vent, get this last game out of your system, as I have, to get set for what is going to be a major marquee matchup and still holds national championship implications, people, because at the end of the day, we are Irish Nation. We always have one of the top 10 schedules, toughest schedules in the country, one of the top 10 toughest schedules in the country, and we don't have time to sit around and lick our wounds like a lot of schools do. Not going to call any names. Some of them are at the top of the list right now, but we're not going to complain. We're going to do what we have to do to show the world that we are who we say we are. We've got a team whom their quarterback has made some serious strides, and they've already had a big win earlier this year. As we all know, Notre Dame showed, our Irish showed, that they belong amongst the elites. And I've told you guys, I'm not upset with the outcome. I totally believe that we worked our butts off to get here. We totally won the game in many areas on Saturday night. A lot of people would venture to disagree. I really don't care what they think. But looking at this game and really analyzing where we were Saturday night, we did everything right except win the game. You know, we just didn't win the game. You know, and I know a lot of people are wondering why you didn't do a follow-up. I actually did. I just had not had time to put it up. As I said, my schedule has just been a certain way, Irish Nation. I will put it up if you want to see it. More than likely tomorrow morning. I'm sorry I haven't had time. Just the editing process, you guys. But that's neither here nor there. You guys don't want to hear excuses. You want results, which is what we want. So, guys, I am going to let you guys know I'm going to work my behind off to get this thing out, hopefully before the game, because a lot of my loyal subscribers, you guys want to see it. And I've gotten some trolling. I had a guy that said, take it down. Well, I'm not. I will not take this down. And the show he's referring to is How the Irish Beat the Buckeyes in South Bend. And as I said, I will put up the show that I shot going into detail how we lost the Ohio State game. And I know a lot of you guys aren't going to want to watch that, especially after we do what we do to Duke. But let's get into it. Make sure, guys, you go by Talk Like a Champion and give me your input. I love the input, even if you're trying to troll. No, I will not take the show down. Because any Ohio State Buckeye fan that thinks you were better than us Saturday night, you're wrong. And as I said, I think at the end of the day, Notre Dame fans are going to be extremely happy because I think our coaching staff is going to learn from this. Because in order for you to be a championship caliber team, you have to understand what it takes to win. You have to sometimes, when you're in a game where you're either teeter-tottering on breaking through or you're teeter-tottering on the verge of being great, sometimes you have to learn how to coach your way through some things. And I think right now, I'm not saying the coaching's bad in South Bend. I think the problem is sometimes you have to coach your way to victory. And I'm not talking about the 10 men on the field. We have a quarterback that automatically has fallen out of the Heisman race because Notre Dame lost in a big game. Sam Hartman is one of the elite guys, and I'm not going to stay on Jared Parker. I hope he learned from his mistake that he needs to unleash Hartman on the entire country. There's no doubt Caleb Williams is the guy. There's no doubt Michael Penix Jr. is Washington. Ward Jr. in Washington State. He's that guy. They live and die by him. In Utah, you can see Utah lives and dies by Cam Rising. But that's neither here nor there. The thing that I'm looking at is Notre Dame's offense. The problem we're running into right now is our defense is good, but the problem is they're not as good as they could be. Now, I want everybody to understand what I'm about to say. When that graphic from, I think it was either NBC or ABC came up, that the Irish had missed 155 tackles, I was like, that can't be right. Now, I will say this. I have seen a lot of issues with Notre Dame's defense. And the thing is, I love Al Golden. I think Al Golden is one of the most underappreciated defensive coordinators in the country. However, I do think a lot of the things that make him great are a lot of the things that make him a liability at times. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. What I'm saying is a lot of times what happens clearly is he sends blitzes in inopportune times. You know, especially when it's called safety blitzes or even corner blitzes when you're 5 wide. I think it was clear that Ohio State's line was either that good or they missed a lot of holding penalties. But we weren't going to get to them. I mean, the few times we got to them, we didn't bring them down. And to me, what you do is you show blitz. And that's one thing I wish we did more of. I think Golden should show more blitz than actually blitz. Give the offensive line something to look at. And then not only that, not only do you give them something to look at, but you also within a nutshell, you start to come up with what I like to call disguised blitzes and then back out of them, because what happened was McCord was killing us in the middle of the field. And ultimately, DJ Brown had what should have been the game-winning interception. He's not going to sleep well for a while. Now, so if he's the baller that we think he is, he should come out for the rest of the year and ball out. We do, however, going into this game, we have some injury concerns. Possibly Jaden Thomas is a question mark. And I didn't know this, that Deion Colsey had been having problems with his knee. And he actually went under the knife and had his knee scoped. So he'll be out probably of 3 to 6 weeks. And hopefully we can get him back. And because I'm going to be honest with you, our receiving core is where it is, not just because of where these guys are. I told you guys many shows back when we talked about, when I said Colsey and Merriweather could be the next Michael Floyd and Golden Tate. I think what's going to happen and what needs to happen, Sam Hartman needs to be allowed to play free, and I think what's going to have to happen is Jared Parker is going to have to get very creative. Because here's the thing. I'm going to draw out some plays for you guys in a couple of weeks and show you what I'm talking about. Because the reality of it is I love to draw up plays, being a former coach myself. And the thing is, what you like is when you... The hardest thing about drawing out plays is whether you have the talent to do it. When you have the talent to perform the plays that you choose, that makes play calling fun. And I think Jared Parker, being a first-time play caller, if you will, is learning that. Because in that Ohio State game, I didn't see Holden Stays. Mitch had a great game. Probably the first game he had, is a career game for this guy. You didn't utilize Merriweather enough. You didn't utilize Tyree enough. You didn't utilize Thomas unless he was hurt. You try to get Greathouse in, and Flores ended up making the big grab, but you have to continuously utilize these big bodies that you have, and even the scat guys. Too many times, we didn't do what we needed to do. I'm trying to get off of the Duke game, get onto the Duke game, guys, but offensively, we should not be held to 14 points against anybody. Not with Sam Hartman. And I'm saying against Duke, I saw Duke play Clemson. I will tell you this. Duke does have a playmaker at quarterback. I will admit this. I will admit that. But here's what I was reading in Fighting Irish Wire. And Notre Dame's got number one confidence is what they have to be. Duke is undefeated. And they need to come in pissed off with their hair on fire. Now, Riley Leonard is a baller. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not. Not going to sit here and say he's not. But I have seen him be reckless with the football. One thing our defense has not done this year, as great as it's been, in spurts, the turnovers. Waiting on Morrison to get that interception. Waiting on guys like DJ Brown to catch interceptions that they're supposed to. Not singling you out, brother, but you have to. Xavier Watts, where are you at? You have to make those interceptions. Cam Hart has been non-existent. Now, I agree. I get it. NFL caliber of cornerback. We got to see plays. And I get it. Teams are scared of you guys. But listen, we have to make plays. We're at a point now where I said we were going to be 12-0. And you guys know it, which leads to motivation number 2 and confidence number 2. You had this game. And whether anybody wants to admit it or not, Notre Dame dominated this game. And you can dominate Duke because Duke will put the ball in harm's way. As for everything Riley Leonard is, I think Notre Dame is twice as good as Clemson. I think Clemson is where Notre Dame was before Sam Hartman arrived. They need a quarterback. They can run the ball. They have no quarterback. And they don't have the athletes at receiver. We have both. And which is why I see, and I think Jared Parker found something about his offensive line, because for no more than what Ohio State was given, their line was projected to dominate on many accounts by most analysts in the country. They were supposed to dominate our offensive line despite having 2 All-Americans on the ends. They didn't. They did not dominate the line of scrimmage. Now, they maintained it, but they did not get to Sam Hartman. Not like that. I will say this. I think Duke has a very opportunistic defense. However, I think what we have to be concerned with, we need to make sure we're concerned with is the broken tackles by running back Mike Elko. We have to be fully engaged. Well, what Travion Henderson did to us is just going to go through one ear and out the other. Now, do I think their offensive line is going to be as dominant as Ohio State's or have the dominant potential? I don't think so. But I will say this, Duke being at home is a big crutch for us. I think what needs to happen is we're going to have to tackle. And like I said, Riley Leonard is a quarterback that is where he goes, the team goes. And as I said, he's kind of like the player that he plays in spurts, so we can't afford to let him get off. But we got to be prepared for him because he's going to keep coming and coming and coming and coming, because this is their opportunity. That's what we have to look at. Riley Leonard is, and they talked about it on Pat McAfee. That's what I was referring to earlier. Pat McAfee show. Is he going to get the Heisman hype? Right now, people are saying he should be talked about. But he's not, because Duke is where they are. And I'll say this and I'll get ready to wrap this up, you guys. I truly believe that Notre Dame can move this ball. It's going to have to depend on what happened last week. And what I mean by that is Marcus Freeman going to give Jared Parker the keys and say, look, we have a Ferrari. Let's drive it like a Ferrari, not like a baby carriage. And see, the analogy is for this, guys. We have a very, very talented football team. Receivers and speed all over the place. Tight end, you guys. We got two more on the roster that are waiting and salivating at their opportunity. And we've got a quarterback that has the ability. We didn't give Sam Hartman the okay to come here to be a passenger on this team, guys. Jared Parker, you have this guy. You have the guy that can take you back to the promised land. Take Notre Dame back to the promised land. Marcus Freeman, tell Jared Parker to get the most out of this kid. Because guess what? If you can salvage greatness here, Steve Angeli is coming. C.J. Carr coming. And the other quarterbacks that are coming. You start building greatness and thinking greatness, taking chances at greatness, you achieve greatness. Now, with that being said, I know I didn't do a whole lot of analyzing on this game because I truly believe Notre Dame should not have a problem with Duke. I mean, people are going to look at it. I know the Clemson game was a long time ago. I get it. I totally get it. But I'm not concerned with Duke because the thing is, Notre Dame should come into this game pissed off. Sorry, guys, if you don't like that word. I apologize. But I'm not apologizing for not being happy about mediocrity. And the thing is, I saw a team that despite the game not being called the way it should have been called, is we have to look at it. We won this game. We didn't lose it in the last 2 minutes. You're not going to hear me say that. We lost this game because this game should not have been close. We looked at Ohio State and we automatically assumed, okay, they're this and they're that. And they weren't. You have to win the game the minute you step on the field. You can't let fate decide it. When we walked into the locker room down and had 0 points into the half, that was us last year. That was us last year. Squeaking by to try to get out of here. That's what Ohio State wanted to do. They knew they weren't better than us. That's why Ryan Day went off on that tangent. He expected to walk out of there with a loss. He can sit there and say what he wants. He expected to lose that game. And I'm telling you right here, if these guys are going to prove you guys, all of you that said that we're going to sting and we're going to fall off, they're going to win this game and they're going to win it big. This is Mr. CeeLo's guarantee gab. Notre Dame wins this game big and Hartman throws for 300. Jared Parker learns from his mistake. He throws for 300. Now, let me know what you guys think. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I'm trying to watch the another interesting matchup that's going on right here. Be sure to go to my Facebook page and my Instagram, if you will, and let me know what you guys think. I love doing these. I love hearing you guys discuss the thought process here and whatnot. It's really a lot of fun. But I need us to get back on track, and I need you guys to support our Irish so we can get back in this national championship race, and we will. We need a big win this week to show everybody that Duke might be a good team, but we're an elite team. So, as I said, all Irish Nation, till the next time, Irish Nation, may God hold you in the palm of his hands.